All right, all right. What's up, everybody? Let me know in the chat if you can see my screen, if you can hear me clearly. All right. Today is the 25th of February 2026. And as per always, we always come here. As always, so let me turn off my cell phones. So basically they were off, but I had to turn them on to fix my internet to restart everything before I start the stream. Yep. So today is very important. And why? Because we're gonna have the Nvidia quarterly earnings. Okay. So this is gonna be something very important. You really have to pay attention to. It's gonna be at 2 p.m. Pacific time. Oh, you don't see my screen. Let me fix that. Let me fix that. All right. So yeah, today is February 25, 2026. So we have Nvidia quarterly financial results. That's gonna be at 2 p.m. Pacific time. Pacific time is literally 2 p.m. Pacific time is literally 5 p.m. Eastern time and 4 p.m. Central times. Okay. For those who don't know, like USA, the United States have like five different times, if I'm not mistaken. So we're gonna analyze the market. Well, I already did the breakdowns. You already know what I'm waiting for today. But this is something to keep in mind, all right? The Nvidia financial quarterly earnings. Why? Because Nvidia is basically the leader in the tech company right now. It is the leader, and we all know about the AI bubble, right? The AI bubble between Oracle, Microsoft, Nvidia, and this thing is kind of weird. But yeah. Okay, so today, guys, like I said in the breakdown, what I really wanted to see before I went to bed, I expected price to drop lower first, okay, to come back to the discount of the previous day range. Okay, consider this day as a first accumulation and create another accumulation today to go higher. Well, reaccumulation. All right, that's exactly what I expected. And even in YM I expected, voila, even in YM I expected this movement. I wanted to see price drop down to the previous daily low to move to the upside. But as of right now, the price action is different than what I had before I went to bed, because when I was doing my analysis, the market was somewhere around here, I guess. No, somewhere here. So I expected price to drop lower to do reaccumulation to go to the upside. So basically we don't have it. All right, we don't have it. The market moved to the upside first, and we can see the opening is very strong. We have a big movement to the upside, and we are already above these highs. We are already above previous day high and these highs, and the market is overextended. So as of right now, there is nothing I can do, to be honest. So balance on H4 right there. So we are finally moving to the upside, since finally having some nice expansion since this expansion right there. So I don't think I'm gonna stay with you today, because as of right now, I can't buy right there. It's already too high, and I have no confirmation to sell neither. Okay, you already know me. I'm not gonna buy above highs, above all of these highs with this expansion. Okay, I gotta wait for price to create a reaccumulation. All right, and then the current daily context. This is the daily open, right? This is the daily open right there, and below it, the current low of day is a target. Okay, the current low of day is a target, basically. Okay, so if the current low of day is a target, what we're gonna do, we're gonna have to wait for price to create a manipulation. We're gonna have to wait for price to create a retracement, right? Easy. Okay, but that might take some times today. We don't know yet. All right, that's the opening right there. That's the opening of the session. New York Stock Exchange session opening just moved to the upside. Okay, remember, we are not chasing price. We are not chasing price. We are not chasing price. Okay, Monday we had a green day, right? Yesterday we had a green day. Did we chase price? No. We stayed, wait for price to give us like confirmation the way we want it, the way the strategy says to wait for like the confirmation, and then we take trades, right? There is no rushing. There is no reason to rush, like I usually tell you, right? And when I'm streaming, do you feel like I'm rushing? Nah, no pressure at all. What is pressure? No pressure, right? We wait, we wait, we wait. As of right now, it's already overextended. Well, if you hold from yesterday's trade, you are eating good right now. I did not hold, man. I did not hold. Actually, the market kicked me out in profit. So, anyways, I did not hold from yesterday's divergence and manipulation at this at the previous daily low. Okay. So as of right now, we are above all of these highs and we are in premium, right? So what I'm gonna do is just wait to see what price will do. Okay, so ES is inside of my potential sell area I had. Okay, we had this area right there. Okay, and that's the opening. That's the opening of price of the session. We got New York Stock Exchange right there. Okay. Got 8 in the morning, that was here, and we got 9:30, that was there, and we can say that's pre-market high and pre-market low anyways. So ES is inside of this potential sell area. Okay, and it's the same thing. The current low of the day is not set. That's not a manipulation I can consider, to be honest. Okay, that's not relevant for me. Okay, well, somebody can consider that, but I'm not gonna consider that personally, since we don't really have we don't really manipulate on important lows like I usually want to see, right? So that's a bonus context. It's not a gold context, right? And then the market did not retrace enough, okay, to consider these as gold context to keep going higher, right? Can we just keep going higher? Of course, that's the worst scenario. If you watch the breakdowns, I told you exactly that's the worst scenario. And if it happens, I'm not going to take any trades. I'm not going to force the market. So probably if I don't find anything today, and that might be my last trading days for the week, because I won't be available tomorrow and Friday. Usually I don't really pay attention to the market that much on Friday. Okay, so now we wait, guys. We're waiting. We already overextended, okay, from this manipulation yesterday. Manipulation, divergence, we keep moving to the upside. Today I expected a little bit of retracement. We didn't have it. The market just keep going higher. Now I'm just waiting. I'm just watching. Well, this imbalance right there, I don't know why you can't find this gap, guys. I've been telling you why you didn't have it on your screen, but you keep telling me you can't find it. And I don't understand. Like I told you to just set up the trading view the way I do mine, and you're gonna have this gap. That's a gap right there. And this gap keeps holding price since February 13, right? So this is the gap right there. We came to it right here. So yesterday we came very close to it. We did not. Okay. And then we moved to the upside. All right. So this session might be the shortest session I've ever made in this channel because, well, if we had a position, a remaining position right here, I will pay attention to see what price might doing, but I don't have any position remaining. I closed my position yesterday on CFDs and futures both. I closed all of them. Congrats on your self-control, Peter. Thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate it. It takes a long time, bro. It takes a lot of times. A lot of mistakes. A lot of crying too, okay? Even though I'm a man, they're gonna tell you don't have to cry and stuff, but I cried a lot, because sometimes I feel like I don't know if you used to listen to Maurice Sixto. Okay. Tikam. I want to know the Tikam. It's like I want to be successful, I want to make money, I want to be this, I want to be that, I want to a lot of things. Let's say my left hand asking for something and my right hand doing the opposite, because my right hand is the one that operating in the market, So basically, pendant ou paquet nan senti moi hold tête moi back, pas market lan vraiment, because I had the capacity to say if we are bullish or bearish. I had the capacity to read the market. But bro, même le m'di m'a tan, m'pa ka tan, même le m'di m'a prêté tan, m'pa ka arrêter tan vrai. Well, it's like donc à chaque fois comme si on dit mon cap contrôler my, but like I told you, it's not a demon. It's not a demon. You just don't master yourself yet. Okay? And as soon as you master yourself, everything becomes easy. Trust me. If you can be able to stay stay still, okay? You stay still, you don't execute, you don't do anything without confirmation, or when you say you're not gonna do something, you don't do it. Trust me, you're gonna have some confidence, and one day, 1 week, 1 month, and over the years, you're gonna master yourself. Well, like I said recently, like I said in the video, it's not like you have to suffer. And I've realized that trading is simple. It may not be easy, but trading is very simple. It's our brain that complicated. The accident I had, it didn't have anything to do with trading. But this accident basically, after this accident, I had an introspection. I sit down and think about my own life, think about what I've done, what I could have done, because I was a few seconds away from dying, And since then I take trading seriously, but you don't have to go to all of that to take trading seriously, you know. Since then I never look back, bro. Never. I never look back. Okay. So the market keep moving to the upside. Like I said, I wanted to see retracement to go higher, but we don't have the retracement. As of right now, I'm just watching price. And like I said, that might be the shortest session we've ever made in this channel because there's nothing to do. I'm not gonna buy above highs. I'm not gonna buy above highs. You know that. I'm not chasing price. Oh, I'm missing the move right there. No. And as of right now, of course, this area might be a potential sell area. The daily context telling me to short, especially on NQ. But we don't have any sign of bearishness yet. Any sign. So we're not forcing anything, you know. Just one of these days. It's just one day in the market. The 50% of the previous day range, it's literally it's very easy, guys. It's not complicated. It's like if the previous day, let's say if the previous day create a manipulation, and then we manipulate a previous daily low, and we manipulate a previous weekly low, and we create an expansion, right? That's one day. So in the next day, if I'm still bullish, I don't expect price to come to this low anymore. Okay, I don't expect price to come to this low because this low already set the tone. And then if I'm still bullish, remember I said if I'm still bullish, because we might have a big expansion and the next day I'm not bullish or I'm not gonna execute or anything. So now in the next day, I just want to see price drop to the 50% or below, which means to the discount. That's the discount, and then that's the premium. So the market doesn't have to come below the previous daily low anymore. We can just retrace, and we can just retrace to the 50% or below it a little bit in the discount, manipulate the Asia low or the London low, and then move to the upside. Okay, the market doesn't have to come back there again. Okay, and to keep going higher, you know. And the next day might do the same thing. If we have the 50% right there, if we have the high and the low, the 50%, if we're still bullish, the market doesn't have to come back there again. And then we might just come back to the discount hand, 50% or below. And you're gonna have to watch some like imbalances on higher time frame, and then see which low the market will manipulate, because you still need the manipulation, and then to keep going higher. That was the first accumulation, and then that's the second accumulation, what we can call reaccumulation, and that's another reaccumulation to keep going higher. So I used the 50% just to find the premium and the discount from yesterday's range. You know, that's basically how I use it. I talked about it in the breakdown yesterday. Okay. Let's say, for example, this position we had last week, that was last week. Yeah, that was last week. You know, we had this manipulation at these highs, right? And I did not expect price to come back here and create another manipulation. You know, that was on Monday, right? Oh yeah. The trade we took yesterday. I forgot already, bro. I'm sorry. Forgot already. That was on Monday. So yeah, that's 50% was somewhere here. So I did not expect any manipulation above these highs, because if I'm not gonna say I did not expect it, because we still had a sell area here, but the market doesn't have to go here to create another manipulation before we move to the downside. So we had a divergence. ES definitely manipulate this high before we drop lower. Okay, so that's how I use the 50%. Okay, if I already have a manipulation, I don't expect price to come back to it, to the previous daily low or previous daily high anymore, to if we're gonna have a continuation. You know, last week when I told you that I was bearish on this day, okay, we had a nice manipulation right there. we had a nice manipulation right there, right? That was the manipulation. And then if price gonna hold this manipulation to keep going higher, the market doesn't have to come back here again. So we can just retrace to the premium and still create a manipulation, because you're gonna have a manipulation either way, and then the market manipulates. That was the pre-market high or something, and then we drop lower. So okay, that's why today we had this manipulation, this expansion, and before I went to bed, I expected price to like come down a little bit lower to this area, and while respecting this imbalance on H4 and to go to the upside. That's something I've seen a lot, but not today anyway. So let's see, bro. The target we have on ES are basically these targets right there. Okay, not the current low of day. The current low of day is not a target. It's not set neither. And on NQ, we have a bunch of targets. We have these targets right here, targets right there. But we just moved to the upside, and then right now we are very bullish, so don't expect anything. And at 10, we're gonna have the close of the 4 hours. So you cannot have a big 4 hours like that and trying to short. All right. So now I don't know what's gonna happen. As always, I never know. Okay, but in order for me to buy, I need a retracement. I can't buy right there. Coach, sou ta di nou plus sou ti kote nou an sa yo ta ede nou suspend pense ki se sot nou sot o stopi pense bad about us, oui. Pa kompren nou ba. Coach, si ou ta di nou plus sou ti kote nou an sa yo, ou wap pale de stop pense bad about us. M kompren se di ya. Ou ta pale de sujet mental, like the mental subject. Well, ti kote nou an sa yo, gen paket ba ou ka fe pou chanje yo. Dare m getan gon podcast sou sa. Getan gon podcast sou sa. Gen about 4 podcast ki rekod la. Can YM drop? Check real quick. But yeah, so you're just gonna have to create some habits that's gonna help you fix your problems, okay? And you can use well, I have 2 words on my mind right now. It's Kaizen, and Ikigai. Okay, so it's 2 Japanese words. So Kaizen is basically instead of like thinking about the whole problem or the whole things what you have to do, just think about the next step. Okay, just focus about on one thing. Let's say, for example, if I wanna quit smoking, I can't wake up one day and quit smoking. I'm not smoking, guys. Okay, I don't do none of these things. I'm not saying people that doing it is bad, but I just don't do it. Okay. I don't smoke. I don't drink that much. Probably 1 or 2 times. but I don't drink, I don't smoke. Okay, so if let's say I want to quit smoking, I'm not gonna wake up one day and all of a sudden I quit smoking, right? So now what you have to do, you have to see it like step by step. Okay, you're gonna say, all right, if I used to smoke like 4 cigarettes, I don't know what you're smoking. If I used to smoke let's say 12 cigarettes a day, let me try to reduce it to 4 or 5. Okay, yes, the objective is to cut smoking, but you're not gonna do it just like one day in 24 hours and you quit smoking. That's not gonna happen. That's impossible. But most of us, that's what we want to do. When we want to quit something, or we want to be better at something, we expect that one day we wake up and everything is better and everything is good. That's basically not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen. Trust me. Okay, that's not gonna happen. Okay, so now you're gonna have to say, okay, instead of like smoking 12 boxes of cigarettes, let me start by reducing. Let me reduce it to 8. Okay, and then after that you reduce it to 5, and after that you reduce it to like 4. Okay, and after that you reduce it to 1, and then until you quit. Okay, so it's gonna be the same thing in trading. Let's say you are impatient. Okay, let's say you are impatient. Don't be like, all right, I'm a patient trader and I want to be patient and wake up tomorrow and being patient. So the first thing you're gonna do, you're gonna like find some habits that's gonna make you patient. Okay, and then what you're gonna do, you're gonna focus on these habits instead of like being patient. Okay, how to explain that? Okay, let's say you want to be patient and then you realize that you're impatient in the market. Instead of saying, okay, I want to wake up tomorrow and be patient, you can say, okay, tomorrow, just tomorrow, not the next week or in 2 days or 3 days, just tomorrow, I'm gonna wake up and I'm gonna put an alert in the market, and I'm not gonna open my screen until the alert got triggered in the market. You stay out. Okay, you stay out. So now what's gonna happen? You're gonna be patient, not because you want to be patient, but it's because like you put a small goal, and if you achieve this small goal, that's gonna help you being patient. Sylvester, I did it the next, just woke up and quit smoking. Well, some people does that, and I know some people that does that too, bro. They just wake up and they don't smoke anymore. They just wake up, they don't drink anymore. That happens, but the majority of people we're not gonna do this. Okay, so basically, yeah, when you have a goal, you have to break it down to different small goals and focus only on these small goals, because these small goals will help you achieve the big goal you have. Okay, this is Kaizen, and Ikigai is basically Ikigai is another word, the Japanese word. It's like when you're doing something you love, people can pay you for it, or something you are passionate about it, and something is very important. But in conclusion, you have to ask yourself why you are doing something. Okay, so why you are doing something, why you want to quit smoking, for example. I want to quit smoking because I have kids and I don't want them to take these habits from me. That's the why. Because you love your kids, because you don't want them to smoke, for example. And what's gonna happen This is the why. So this why will help you stay, will help you stay away from this bad habit, you know. And if you don't have the why, don't even think about the how, because that's not gonna happen. And when I say why, it should be deep. It should be very deep, okay? Because every time you think about it, it should like keep you away from the bad habits. So Kaizen basically will help you to know how to do it. The Ikigai will basically help you like telling you why you are doing it. So as of right now, YM is dropping lower. I'm watching ES to see if ES can follow through. Okay. YM is the weaker index, which is fine. Okay. I'm paying attention to ES or NQ to see what's gonna happen. We just have the close of the 4-hour on NQ. I'm not gonna touch NQ. I'm not gonna touch NQ. Sorry. Actually, I still have the same thing I had on my mind before I went to bed. Okay. Which means the market might create a retracement, okay, to potentially drop down in this area and set the low of day and to keep going higher. I don't see this market heavily bearish right now. Okay. I don't see an heavy like market today. But like I said, before I was able to control myself, and I had to understand a lot of things. Okay. For example, I wanted to change, but I thought one day I will wake up and not having fear. But it's impossible. You're still gonna have fear. Okay. You're not a robot. You're not a robot, so you're gonna have fear. You're gonna have emotions and everything. The goal is not to delete them completely. Okay. The goal is to not let emotions control your actions, you know. Because dès qu'on a goût même pas vle gen peur, m'pa vle gen peur, m'pa vle gen peur, plus m'a dit même pas vle gen peur, c'est plus ma peur. OK. En réalité, c'est pas peur ou pas peur, c'est pas quitter peur gain contrôle sur action. Ça veut dire les m'la avec nous là, me dit nous market là pour tel côté. Peur de coin tête moi. Well, à force que me vinn travail etc. Li même show up même gens encore because me travail over the years. But li pas disparaître completely. It's still there. 100 people watching me. And then if I say the market is bullish and the market just drop massively, that's gonna hurt my ego, right? Or I said like the market is bearish and the market just moved to the upside massively, that's gonna hurt my ego. And then the fact that I think about it and feel my shows up and and having control over my actions. But the fact that I worked on that and knowing that fear will not disappear, and then knowing that it's okay to be wrong in the market, there is nothing bad with that. It's just a learning process. And even if you have 10 years in the market, sometimes you're gonna wake up thinking the market is moving to the upside and the market just dropped. It happened. That's a part of the job, okay, of the career. It's gonna happen anyways. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow. Yes, yesterday I was right. Before yesterday I was right, but you never know. Tomorrow I might be wrong. And tomorrow I might be wrong. Today I might be wrong. Next week I might be wrong, But just to be able to work on that and to know why, that's fine, that's okay. That takes me sometimes too. Because even though when I'm not streaming, I used to have this problem with my own self. Like it's like when I'm trading and I say the market is bullish and the market just drop, bro, I'm gonna keep trading until the account disappear. Why? Because my ego hurts and I want to prove my ego it was right. And that's how you like you collapse. That's how you lose your account and everything. That's how it happens. So it takes me sometimes to like, all right, bro, you can be wrong, that's fine. But si chaque ton live qu'on y a wrong, ça sont l'autre problème. That's another thing. Okay? That's another thing. Okay. So, développement personnel tellement gon paquet de bagay là-dedans. That's why I'm disant que trading plus simple. Parce que trading li plus facile pour comprendre, pour apprendre trading que pour développer tête. Développer tête is definitely something that it's not easy, and then it's a 24/7 jobs. One day off and then you collapse, bro. One day off, you collapse. Okay? It's a 24/7 something, bro. And that's what I've been saying. After all of these years, I'm like, trading is not that complicated, bro. And it's just, you have some areas you're waiting price to come in. Well, you have the confirmation, you take it. You don't have it, you don't take it. Simple as that. But we have ego, but we are impatient, but we are not disciplined enough. We don't have focus enough. We have too much distractions right now. We are living in a world of distraction, right? So that's the most important part, you know? And when somebody said, well, I took 5 years to make my first payout, don't think this person takes 5 years to understand the market. No, this person takes 5 years to, yes, understand the market, but understand himself. Because you can understand the market if you can't understand yourself, if you can't manage yourself. The knowledge you have about the market is definitely pointless. It's meaningless. It's just nothing. You just know candles and lines and rectangle and everything, divergence, you know them, but they are meaningless if you can't control yourself. Because the most important thing is to control yourself. And the other day, somebody asked me when exactly I started to predict the market the way I do. Okay. Let's take a look. Why people complaining about this market, and even me, I complained about the market recently, right? But yesterday we took that, right? Monday we took that, right? Friday I talked about that, right? Thursday on my WhatsApp channel I told you to short that, right? Wednesday I told you to short that. Tuesday I told you to long that. So how can I do that every single day? I mean, not every single day, but how can I do that so often? And I told him it's not even the market. I started doing that since I master myself, since I can, like, the fact that I'm trying, the fact that I'm working towards mastery, but not to master the market. I'm not trying to master the market. I know if I master myself, this mastery will show up in the market. You know? So it's not like I'm a genius, bro. In 15 days, I can say almost every day what the market is doing and take trades and people having payouts and making withdrawal. Well, the master is not in the market. The master is in me. Okay? I'm not saying it's it's over. I'm not saying it's at 100% because I'm human. Some days I'm not at 100%. Some days I'm tired. Some days I'm not feeling good. Some days I don't know, I'm completely off. I'm a human, But the mastery is not in the market, it's in you. And if you can be able to master yourself, it will be very easy for you to like analyze the market and execute. All right. So the market is reacting from this area. The fact that the market is heavily bullish, I want to see price in order to like consider anything as bearish opportunity. I want to see price break this low. Okay, that's the opening of the session. If we can just break it and then retrace, do something like this, that will be better. And also I didn't put it, but that's the hourly opening. I don't watch the hourly opening right now because I didn't want to try to short right there. Okay, I'm just gonna wait. Okay, if we can break this candle and create an icy candle, because as you can see, this green line is gonna be my icy. If we can like break it massively and with conviction, we're not gonna have the retracement. Okay, so we might have a day that keeps going higher and higher. Okay, and then probably tomorrow we might have the retracement, and then come back to this low, which is gonna be the previous daily low, and to keep moving to the upside. So we will see. And it depends on Nvidia's earnings, because remember we talked about that, right? We talked about that. Yes, it's true. Ego can kill you. Moi, t'es attendant qu'on mouvement machin, fait le contraire. C'est garder moi, même sur 17 trades. Là, m'a dit fois ça m'a bien raison, et puis compte boule. Well, premièrement, m'apprécie le fait qu'on ait capacité pour dire ça, parce que ça son bagay tout qui, en quelque sorte, a crasé un paquet de petits jeunes. C'est parce que y a un problème dans le domaine, dans le trading, dans la photographie, whatever ça lien. But yo pas comme si voulez qu'on quitte l'autre monde qu'on est. Juste parce que vous avez écrit ça dans le commentaire, it's a good thing. Okay? And j'aime d'abord que l'homme t'est passé par là. Laisse assez ego nous qui prend un coup, man. And nous c'est humain, like, ego nous drôle. C'est pas que le pas bon pour gagner ego, mais l'on pas contrôler le comme ça, il vient dangereux. Okay? So basically, when you take a trade and you are wrong, all right, let me explain. Let me explain how I do stuff. All right, let's say I take a trade. Okay, let's say I thought that was my confirmation and I took an entry. Okay, and the market come to my area and start rejecting, and then the market drop down and take my stop loss. Let's say that was my stop loss. Okay. As soon as my stop loss hit, I have two things on my head. Okay. I'm gonna pay attention to see if price create another manipulation, because that happens sometimes. That happens, like you had a manipulation and the market create another one. So I'm gonna wait to see if price just created another manipulation and still go to my direction. Okay, that's the first thing. Or if the market just dropped massively, okay, if the market just dropped massively, I will do another analysis to see if I'm wrong, why I'm wrong, or probably the market is not ready to go to my direction and the market might drop lower and do another manipulation again. So it's very simple, which means I already know what I'm gonna do if I hit stop loss. Okay, remember the trade I took yesterday. Okay, when I was live with you, as soon as I said I expect bullishness, I started to paying attention to this low. Okay, and I told you, well, I don't want to see price break this low massively, because if we just break it massively, that means I'm wrong. And if I'm wrong, there is nothing bad with that. Even though I'm on YouTube and everybody's on YouTube like watching me, but it's just a part of it. Some days I'm gonna have stop loss. Okay, I knew that right before I started this channel. I knew that right before I started the stream. I might be wrong. People might laugh at it, and I don't care. I don't care. so basically, that's the entry, and then that should be the stop. So now two things might happen if we had stop loss. Sometimes the market hit our stop loss and create another manipulation. That's a part of it. That's okay. And at this point, I'm gonna respect my risk management, respect everything, and try to take another entry. Okay. But I'm not gonna change my bias or my context just because I had a stop loss. Because what happened, let's say you had a stop loss right there, and as soon as you had a stop loss, you short it. And then the market respect your previous idea. Okay. And then that's gonna hurt you more, bro. That's gonna hurt you more. Trust me. You change your bias, not because the market told you to change your bias, but because you had a stop loss and then you just short it. You know what? Yep. The market will respect this imbalance. Let me just short. You just change your bias. You just change your context. So, and then what happened next? The market respect your your primary idea. This is the worst thing ever, bro. I don't know, but for me, that's the worst thing, bro. That's why it's very hard for me to change bias. Because if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I don't like when I'm right and I'm wrong. I don't like being, okay, you were right, but you lose money. So being right or wrong is pointless. It's useless. It's meaningless, right? That's the problem. Quand dit moi MT5 bam lan li pa bam accès pour trade NQES ki j'aime ka gérer ça. Okay, but they're basically MT5 par NQIS. NQ and ES say futures, all right? So it's futures. MT5 you got to know the brokers and to know what's going to be the quote on the broker, you know, that might be US 100, that might be NDQ 100. That might be, I don't know, they call it whatever they want nowadays. So NQ and ES is for futures, okay? So when I'm trading on MT5, I'm not looking for NQ and ES. I'm looking for I think the thing I'm using, it's one US 100 and US 500. So that's something else. Et ça fait me réfléchir tout ak bagay Hugo te di moi ouais que Hugo moi sorti dans l'école m'te kon vle prouver moun que wrong and obviously montrer nèg yo pas raison. Yeah. Actually, I have a podcast about it. You see everything you said, and I said I have a podcast about it. I recorded 3 podcasts in 24 hours. I was very the past 72 hours, I'm so productive. I don't know what happens, bro. Just want to do everything. This week, especially, I don't know. I want to do everything right now. So, podcast lab vini, just get it on. Pi gros problème moi gen coach même si low ou high lan get set, l'aime prendre en position on va attendre pour me faire TP, moi toujours couper l'avant les si tous les la play des retracer pourtant les seulement solo. All right. You are impatient with profits but you are patient with losses. That doesn't make any sense. But don't think it's I went through that. Like every traders, we went through that. Okay. But this impatience is because you have fear. Okay. Ou peur pour pas perdre l'argent déjà fait. Ou just peur pour pas perdre l'argent déjà fait. And en pile fois qu'on y a dans stop loss, ou à utiliser stratégie hope. Okay? Hope is not a strategy. Qu'on a ça qui va le passer, c'est que le wal regarde dans calendrier, this is what's gonna happen. Okay? So le wal dans calendrier qu'on y a, mais so way. This is a good sign and a bad sign as at the same time. Okay? So kunya ki so way Green Day, you have $500. Green Day, you have $500. Okay? And then losing day, you have $2,000 negative. Winning days, you have $250. And winning days, you have $150. So basically, you had 1, 2, 3, 4 days. Okay? Ça a bon $1,000. 2 jours, ça a bon $1,000. 2 jours, ça a fait $1,250. And then, ça a fait $1,400. So, ou besoin 4 jours pour faire $1,400, mais ou besoin yon green jour pour perdre $2,000. I've been there, right? Even though I'm laughing, I've been there. So you have Green Day, you make $500, but this $500 is because you are afraid to lose it. It's not like you have TP. Okay? Your risk was $1,000, which means you risk $1,000 in this trade. You risk $1,000 in this trade. But the market just moved a little bit to your direction. You close it at 500 because you are impatient. So now what's going to happen? The fact that you have 4 green days, you know how to trade. Okay? The fact that you have 1, 2, 3, 4 green days, you know how to trade. So now you have to learn how not to trade. You have to learn how to not trade now because green juice ou just fait 2 stop loss. Okay? And then ou perdit $2,000. But ni ça, ou pas TP. Ou peut perdre l'argent court et close. Kounya, on dit que ou gen risk to reward 1 to 2. Alright? On regarde ça market là fait là. Bon, mettons à l'aide. Bon, m'a expliquer hein. Market là va faire parler et puis bye. So basically, the fact that you have 4 green days, you know how to trade, but you have a trade management problem because tout trade ça a le même risque, $1,000, right? Mais qu'on y a on dit que ou te quitté trade ça fait TP ou fait $1,000. Okay. All right. 1 to 1. Ouais, bon, ben, mettez le 1 to 2 même. Mettez le 1 to 1. And then, vous te quittez trade, ça fait TP tout, vous fait $1,000. OK? And then, vous still perdu $2,000. OK? Là, m'pas même mal dans 1 to 2, non? Que minimum, moi, m'en non? Just rete dans 1 to 1. OK? Alright, you are at break even. And then, vous quittez trade, ça fait TP, vous fait $1,000. Okay, and then we keep the trade ça fait TP ou fait $1,000. So now what happened? What happened? $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000. Okay, so now what happened? You had a green week. You had 4 green days, 1 red day. It's fine. Okay. It's fine. Ou fait 2 stop loss là, it's fine. I mean, let me say it's fine, and it's still beaucoup fine toujours. Mais c'est là, c'est juste pour montrer nous que même à risk reward 1-to-1, ou tap gen yon green week. If you can just wait for price to hit your target, ou bien wait for price pour hit TP. À 1-to-1. Ça c'est 1-to-1. And then the thing is, moi mette ça yon TP, malgré mette ça yon TP. OK? Et puis la mette 2 SL, parce que vous risquez $1000 par trade, et puis yon TP. OK? Aussi, red day ou malgré mettre la 2 SL, oui, ça t'arrive vous faire 2 SL $1000, ou still fini semaine en positif. And ça still pas bon. Why? Because ou pas ka gen yon journée qui est effacé profit 2 jours. Statistiquement ça pas bon. That's not good. You can't have a negative $2,000 day and then your average winning days it's 1,000. There is a problem here. And don't get me wrong, c'est pas penser que ça va arriver sometimes. OK, dans une semaine. OK, dans une semaine de doit faire $1,000 et puis une journée négative $2,000 and I'm like, damn, I know that's not good. But automatiquement moi li dit pour me fixer son bagay. Soit que l'am te over trading, OK, ou du moins l'am pas capitaliser assez. C'est ça le plaisir. Parce que ou pas gagner yon stop ou pas gagner yon jour ou doit éviter yon red day comme si effacer profit qu'on fait dans 2 jours. So now, what's the ideal? Okay. What's the ideal? One day, là, on a parlé de risk reward 1-to-2, which is the minimum. Ça le minimum, ça m'a dit. OK? Risque $1,000 par trade de faire $2,000. OK. And then, on fait $2,000 encore. That's fine. OK? And then, on fait stop loss. M'a still toujours quitter le 2 stop loss là. On peut dire $2,000. That's fine. OK? On peut même mettre un stop loss encore. OK? So, on peut dire $10,000. And then, the next day, the last day, vous venez garder le bright là, on fait $2,000. Alright. Juste parce que vous risquez $1,000, on fait 1 pour 2, risk reward. Okay, that's 2,000. That's 2,000. Yes, you had 3 stop losses. You have 2 red days, but ça va 2,000, ça va 4,000, ça va 6,000, moins 3,000 ou peut dire faire vous venir semaine à 3,000. So, ça qu'empêche de gagner ça, c'est pas market là. Ça qu'empêche de gagner ça et pas stratégie. Hein? Ça qu'empêche de gagner ça, c'est peur. And qui raison que fait ou bien semaine ça c'est parce qu'on peut pas gagner semaine ça. Ou peut pas gagner semaine ça mais peut même c'est semaine ça même la créer ba oui. Because you have fear, okay? You have fear and you let fear take over of things. So now if you have a strategy, you backtest it, you know everything about it, just ou prend position qui te le fait TP. Ou prend position qui te rive côté pour faire break even là. Ou prend position qui te rive côté pour coincer là. Ou prend position qui te rive côté pour faire poche ou prend position qui te rive pour I don't know, pour faire ça rien pour faire. Pas qui te peut envahir et puis pour prendre décision qui pas bon. And this is ça c'est censé problème au paquet monde pour kounya. C'est que vous avez fait 2 semaines à bien passer et puis yon gagne jour stop loss caser toute bagaille à cause de ego yo. Pour qui ça? Parce que vous avez fait 2 semaines à bien passer ou pas accepter gon gagne jour pas bien passer. Vous font premier stop loss, vous font deuxième stop loss, vous font troisième stop loss, vous font quatrième stop loss, vous font cinquième stop loss. Kounya average winning day ou $1,000 but gagne jour ça ou perdre $5,000. Alright. All right, so now what I'm waiting for in the market, I'm paying attention to ES basically to see if we can have some confirmations to go lower, because I can buy right there. Okay, and to see if we can have the retracement, and after that we might go higher again. So YM keep dropping. That looks nice. If somebody took that, that would be great. But just gonna pay attention to ES and NQ right now. Bye bye YM même affection si j'en drôle. And remember, I said that the fact that you can have 4 green days, because tout bagay li gen yon point positif et yon point négatif. Li gen yon bagay comme si pour nous tirer de li. Li gen yon bagay comme si pour nous apprendre de li. The fact that you can get 4 green days in a week, you can trade, okay? Et nous connaissons déjà, m'pa fait partie des moun k'ap di moun, m'pa fait partie de moun qui accepté, m'pa di l'impossible pour gagner un low win rate, but m'pa fait partie de moun qui valorise ou bien qui supporte l'idée ça. Because mentally you're not the same person, bro. Lundi you wrong, Monday you wrong, Tuesday you are wrong, Wednesday you are wrong, Thursday you are wrong, Friday you are right. Okay, based on risk to reward, Friday cover all of your losses, but after 4 losing days, you're not the same person. Mbap kite moun dim pour d'accord pour OK en win rate 30%. Maintenant, est-ce que ça peut arriver pendant une semaine ou bien pendant un petit temps gon win rate 30%? Of course, ça peut arriver. Mais est-ce que m'accepter le non? C'est ça qui est différence, c'est acceptation. Si pendant une semaine ça arrive. Sur 10 trades, 7 fait stop loss, ou bien 6 fait stop loss, yon break even, 3 TP seulement, well, m'ka still en positif par rapport à risk to reward. Ça arrive. Mais moi, m'pa pas accepter. Ça veut dire que, m'a pour le comme ça, m'a dit, hey, ça va moi-même. Sur chaque 10 décisions m'a prend, c'est pas 3 seulement qui est bon. Bon, just virer ça m'a fait. Bah, on nous là, non? Sur une stratégie, c'est qui est 30% win rate. Just viral, bro. Just fait opposer sa stratégie au lundi, on va 70. Ah oui, là, on va parler sur le long terme. Si sur le long terme, on a une stratégie 30%, just viral. So, why I'm not supporting this? It's because you are not the same person after a bunch of losses. Even moi-même après tout temps année ça yo, m'pa même moun nan après un paquet loss. Ça pas veut dire me perdre tête moi, but m'pa même moun nan. M'm conscient que m'pa même moun nan. Et c'est conscience ça automatiquement que ou gagner cap permet tout comme si remonter pente là. Alright. C'est conscience ça qu'a faut remonter pente là. You're not the same person, bro. Don't let people fool you, man. Mentally, you're not the same person, and you're not a robot. Okay, you will do like don't trade with emotions. Okay. Well, en conclusion, c'est ça le dit, c'est ça le paraît. Mais en réalité, on still toujours gagner emotions, right? So. Yep. And I'm serious. I'm serious about it. And you te kon dim ça tout, lem ta pa prendre des séries de barres tête en bas. Oh, même tout gon 30% win rate, sous prend disposition, risk to reward 1 to 3. Mathématiquement, I prend profit. Yes, mathématiquement, I prend profit, but mentally, I'm not the same trader anymore. Ça va dire me perdre tête, moi, ça va dire me perdre contrôle en rien, ça va dire que me perdre lucidité, but j'ai conscience que me pas même moun nan encore. Et tu vas avoir conscience ça, la prend petit temps. Mwen preske fet epi mwen pa gen posisyon telman mwen pe pou mwen pa pe di. Yeah, that's fair, bro. And we have a podcast about it. You might have these podcasts next week. Not this week. Wait, podcast semaine. Nous avons supposé qu'on podcast demain ba son idée qui ça la parler. Moi code li quelque chose. Oh, yeah, podcast demain, moi répondre avec question nous te posé dans groupe WhatsApp là. I remember. And podcast après, moi parler de peur. Podcast après, moi parler de trauma. Podcast après, moi parler de habitude. Yeah, et jeudi, je suis supposé recorder quelques podcasts encore. Je m'apprends que j'aime enchaîner là pour me rassurer que chaque semaine nous avons un podcast. Thérapie en trader. Tu recordes déjà? Postez ou pas poster? Ouais. Ma plus YouTube, année ça. Ça arrive nous pas web sur réseau yo trop, Instagram, etc. Pas parce que m'pa gen projet pour yo, m'te gen projet pour yo, au contraire, même gen vidéo qui record qui est déjà. Ben, m'vle full YouTube année. Là, au besoin m'vide là. Parce que m'fini par réaliser que clientèle moyen ou du moins moun qui comme si garde mieux c'est un moun qui utilise les réseaux sociaux qui ça tout mais on dit nous là et tout a posé mes questions ça tout c'est que gon paquet de me connaît sur YouTube comme si gon paquet moun et puis sur Instagram il y a même 10 000 moun et ça fini par comprendre que plus fort clientèle ça oui dans sur réseau nous regarde des vidéos etc mais nous pas présent que ça sur réseau et chiffre yo parler pour moi tout. So, peut-être dans la deuxième partie année, car rebalancer sur Instagram, en pile encore, etc. Et puis, this is the thing. Contenu Instagram, yo guys, contenu qui censé short yo prend pile temps. Hein? Depuis c'est pas chita va parler, par exemple, vidéo qu'on a coupe lem live avec nous, me fait reels avec yo pour gen caption etc. Automated captions. Bro, yo prend temps. Et pourtant, ou besoin pour vidéo à moins que 1 minute ou bien peut-être 1 minute et demie maximum. Il prend pas de temps. Alors que yon podcast, m'chita me parler men et puis nous juste couper partie spatio, partie côté que gen ti lapsus etc. et puis nous poster men. Alors que bon contenu comme si 45 minutes qui pas mandé un pile travail. Alors que faire une vidéo short, bien une vidéo reels, whatever genre est là, takes forever, bro. I expected that. I told you that might be the shortest session we've ever made in this channel because pas penser que après big expansion ça nous gain là li possible m'a dit ça qu'a fait li possible pour market là rester dans zone là jusqu'à ce que nous gain release Nvidia. Coach Mbabo Monti c'est eux qui fait me gain account Instagram. Yep. That's what I said. Le fait que c'est là m'te commencé clientèle moi pas sur TikTok. Bon, me dit clientèle, bah on est si moi ça guys. Il vient dans moi. OK. Communauté n'a pas toutes réseaux sociaux ça. Ouais. Et à l'image de moi-même. OK? So, by market long 10 minutes là encore, ah oui, ça va aller, man. I expected all of that. That's why mauvais stream nan pou m pale de premier bagay m di c'est Nvidia earnings because tant que pas Nvidia earnings là bah c'est tout le monde en attente. So, pendant la parle de Nvidia, compagnie ça compagnie non? Ça aussi c'est les AI bobo guys. Bah c'est que les éclaté nous avons doit une plus gros crise économique qui jamais existé. Parce que jusqu'à maintenant là, nous avons une étape côté que investisseurs investi dans AI, tout nèg qui gen kob a injecté l'argent dans AI. Mais même j'ai tout bagay dans monde là, pas même un dixième de compagnie ça va réussir. Ça veut dire là moi m'bay 2028 maximum temps oui. M'bay 2028 maximum temps. Because jusqu'à maintenant nous dans phase côté que investisseur a investi dans AI. Chaque matin gon compagnie AI différent. Chaque matin gon nouveau AI, gon nouveau bagay, gon nouveau technologie etc. Tout pas réussi guys. Monde là a évolué vrai mais tout pas réussi, toute compagnie ça va pas évoluer, toute startup ça va pas éclater vraiment. Nous connaissons bagay là déjà. Et m't'a regardé une statistique récemment, quantité compagnie AI ou du moins quantité gros compagnie dans secteur AI là qui en quelque sorte gen capacité pour fonctionner sans yo pas faire appel avec investisseurs. Il pas en pile non? Pas en pile. That's why I said that this AI bubble and gen moun ka pose est-ce que nous non bubble? Yes, nous non bubble, right? But l'exploser moi gon paquet l'argent qu'a injecté dans AI dans moment là. OK. Toute compagnie vle vin next Nvidia. Yeah. Toute compagnie vle vin next Nvidia. Toute compagnie vle vin next by Elon Musk là. Alors que c'est impossible. Alors que c'est impossible. So n'a pas été temps. N'a pas été temps. So toute économie, on dit toute market là reposé sur earnings Nvidia, je veux dire là. Because yon earnings Nvidia que expectation nan, I mean résultat below expectation nan, c'est pas drop c'est market là drop non. Malin on font virer sur investing.com. Nvidia against side of key Nvidia earning out of the bell for some result in guidance analysis. Well, analyse ka toujours dit ça ou vle, but résultat ka fait non connaît. Alright. C'est internet me kap bay problème là. Oh. Ba login. Ay. Regarde ça après. guys, fem konen se nou still wèm normal, si m pa break, because m gen 0.2% drop frames, ki pa an pil. 0.2 drop frames is not a lot. Last week, I had like 98%, 90%. So, n ba se ate grav net. Alright, it's fine. So, what we're gonna do? I expected that. You know, I expected that. I expected what's going on right now. Kou ya, on moun ki pa expect ça, ou bien on moun kap force chaque bougie ça ou pour une position différente. Buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell, et puis boom, account boule. Ok. Moi-même, ça m'a fait, m'a just mette on wallet dans ligne ça avant m'aller. Ok. Ça va dépendre de le market là arrivé là-dedans et puis market là cross li. Mette crossing down. M'a vinn garder. Ok, là nous gon premier bougie H1 qui va close. Pas aucun signe rien. Sorry, pas aucun signe rien. So just mette on wallet là. So important too, but it's 15 minutes. Because if we can break that, we're gonna have a nice candle, we're gonna have an inversion. And yeah, in M5, we're gonna have a mitigation. Yeah, this mitigation, this candle right there. So basically, that's why I put this there. And just watch what price might do during the day. We can do that. It's a lot of gaps. So trying to read. So we just break these highs. So just like NQ, we are inside of contraction right there. Oh, I don't have real data. Oh, intraday intervals. What does that mean? Regular trading hours. What you mean? I don't have. Give me a second, guys. Real-time data for daily base intervals or tech or investigating the issue with high priority. As a workaround, please switch to intraday intervals, 24 hours. Well, so pratiquement même nous avons un paquet de gap, so stock c'est censé comme ça. Okay, donc there's nothing bad with that. So, pratiquement même genre avec Nasdaq, nous te gen une expansion qui était censée faire là, et puis la market là retourné dans imbalance qui est censé venir créer. Hein. And since then, nous gen expansion pour nous continuer à aller to the upside. So, as of right now, price pas vraiment dit rien. Price pas vraiment dit rien. Maybe, that mette j'aime sur gap ça qui là pour me garder qui sa market lan ka fe, le rive nan zon sa, but as of right now, price pa di man. Earnings lan at 5. It's after market. It's after hours. So basically, yeah. It's after hours. It's at 5, I guess, because you did 2 p.m. You did 2 Pacific time. Yeah, 2 p.m. Pacific time. It's gonna be like Pacific time is 3 hours. Price Nvidia pa di man beaucoup nya. $4.77 trillion market cap. That's a lot, bro. Get un lock pour là. Ou lock à 40. Ou gen l'épée. Ou gen l'épée. À popé. Ou à rapé non. Nous faisons oublier café là. Nous faisons oublier si nous avons bon bar café bon côté là. So yeah. So basically guys, it was a pleasure to be here with you. It's literally 11 a.m. So it's not gonna be, I don't expect anything else in the market right now. So normalement les ap gen prise liquidité, mouvement ça son mouvement de fait rapide. Mouvement ça prend trop de temps pour faire là. Why pas trop intéressé que ça pour monnaie avec nous. Even though a big drop ça, but the cash still retourner là. Nous avons une version là tout dans M15. Now when buy check M5 dans M15 and then pour that drop lower. But c'est ça nous gagne comme target, which means automatiquement quand est arrivé là, tout bas est fini. OK? But again, focus mettez plus c'était sur SINQ matin. Nous pouvons gagner. Nous pouvons gagner and parler de ça dans breakdown là. OK? I talked about that in the breakdown and I told you guys to be careful because when we're gonna have big earnings like that, Apple, Nvidia, Microsoft, Alphabet, so market lan konon ti crash en mode slow motion jusqu'à ce que earnings, okay? Actually, if you're a trader, if you're trading indices, earnings are more important than anything else. Because earnings is part of price action. Like when I say it's part of price action, when you're trading Nasdaq, for example, you're trading 100 tech companies, right? So basically earnings from the leaders of these index is like they are going to be very important. All right, so that's a new hour right now. We're still in this box right there, and I don't think we're gonna leave this box in the morning session. All right, it was a pleasure to be here with you. See you next week. See you on Friday. I'm not gonna be here tomorrow. Like I told you, tomorrow I won't be available at all. And I will send a message in the school if you're on my school. And I will send a message to the SMS community. So yeah. See you on Friday. Bye.